everybody, and welcome to another episode here on MKE Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And today we head back to MKE Brewing Company, but in a brand new flavor. Because if you're not aware, our good friends MKE Brewing Company closed their doors, shuttered their doors last year. I think it was late summer, August, September time frame.
That sounds right.
And we thought, well, MKE Brewing Company's gone. It's done. All the great beers that we enjoyed from MKE Brewing Company were over, and then our good friends at Eagle Park decided to buy up all of their recipes and essentially the name of the brewery, and they're reproducing a lot of the things that MKE Brewing Company put together, and we love Eagle Park.
Yeah, it's starting to see a bunch of them around I've seen Louis Demise, I've seen Milwaukee IPA, I've seen Milwaukee MVP IPA, Outboards. I'm seeing them kind of come back at the liquor store and everything, which is really cool. Which brings us to this.
Yeah,
something you and I have talked about for a little while now.
Yes. So there were promises that some of the barrel-aged stuff that we really enjoyed from MKE Brewing Company were going to make a comeback.
And some that we didn't enjoy.
And some that we didn't enjoy. And this is one of those beers.
Yeah.
So what we've actually got for you today is a cellared version of Recombobulation, which was actually brewed by the original MKE Brewing Company. And then we've got a new version of Recombobulation from MKE Brewing Company, i.e. Eagle Park. And we're going to compare those two here on the channel. Now, just for a note, we did not enjoy this version of Recombobulation. This is a 2020 version of a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout, so it's a couple years old. Let's get a little nose on this first one and see what we think.
Yeah, so I don't know if you said this is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Yes.
And what is interesting is we'll get into the next one. They are two technically different styles what they did with these. So
Yes. Let's check it out.
All right. Uh-oh.
I mean,
Like, I remember not enjoying it, but that doesn't smell.
it smells a little sour on the nose. I mean, there's kind of a smoky, a bit of like a Russian Imperial Stout character to the nose too, but it smells a little sour.
Yeah. All right, I guess. Cheers.
Let's give it a ride.
It's not as sour on the palate as I was expecting, but
It's really not sour at all.
No, it's just. It's overly sweet. It's really thin. It doesn't It doesn't have kind of that like full body harshness I like out of Russian Imperial Stouts.
Yeah.
There's just a sweetness coming through it. I don't remember that sweetness. I remember a little more smokiness from the last time we had this. I think the flavors have dissipated a bit. I will say what's on the nose is, at this point, pretty off-putting. And when I'm trying to sip it and drink some of it, that's all I'm getting is that whiff of it. And it makes it kind of less enjoyable to remember it.
Yeah, this wasn't great when we first tried it fresh. It's still not great now. Not that I expected a miracle in the cellar, but I mean, I don't think it's undrinkably bad. I think it's okay, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to rate this thing.
No, we rated it a long time ago. No need to do it now.
Yes. So what we're really excited to talk about is, and we have not tried this yet, is Eagle Park / the new MKE Brewing Company's version of Recombobulation, which this year it is a bourbon barrel-aged cuvee. They mix these two beers. It is a bourbon barrel-aged stout and an oat wine mixed together. So a cuvee tends to be a mix of different beers and beer styles. And this is a bourbon barrel-aged version with a couple of neat ones.
And one thing I like is they are redoing some of the branding, as you guys can see on the can and everything. I like that they kind of kept the new logo, relatively simple and somewhat homage to what the old MKE Brewing Company logo was, but they kind of did their own little twist. And I do like the new labeling so far.
It's cool.
So.
And in a can.
Yeah.
Let's get a little nose on this. This is a fresh release, I think, within the past few days. So. Ooh, that smells tasty.
That smells good. I mean, we've talked about Eagle Park before, and they do such a good job with their barrel aging programs. I think you and I were really excited about this one. And this smells like the Eagle Park beer. I mean, it smells like what they do.
Sweet, like candy. There's like a candy sweetness to it, like stout candy sweetness to the nose. The bourbon is there. The bourbon smells excellent.
I think that oat wine's adding a nice kind of like figginess, dark fruit to it as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
all right.
let's give it a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
Oh.
Now, this is good on its own. So, right, you just had that
Yeah.
and then tried this, which probably elevates this
Yeah.
a little bit on the palate, but that's pretty stellar.
So solid. It starts off very much like a traditional bourbon barrel aged beer, but that oat wine kicks in at the end. It gives it almost like a nice like port wine taste to it right at the end of it. There's a good sweetness, but not overpowering in any way. It's oh man, that's really tasty.
Did you say port wine? I don't know that I'd go port wine.
I said port wine.
You did say you meant port wine? Okay. I'm not getting that. I definitely get like wheat wine, oat, barley wine characteristics. Port wine is a little it's wine, right? This I'm not getting that on. But I definitely get stout up front. Like it starts like a traditional.
You mean to say port wine?
I'm just making sure. I don't know. It starts like a traditional bourbon barrel aged stout. It's sweet. It's got this nice bourbon kick. Like it's got that vanilla barrel component to the beginning of it, and then like very quickly in the mid palate, the oat wine components kick in, and it finishes the oat wine. And it finishes like a barley wine. It's very, very unique, and it's a roller coaster of a beer because you get bourbon barrel aged stout, and then it finishes like a barley wine or an oat wine. That is stellar.
Yeah, I agree with everything except how the finish is. But we'll agree, disagree.
Yeah.
But I think you and I both are in this agreement. Like, even from the original recombobulation that we had, which was a very kind of smoky, thin, lackluster stout, for lack of a better term. This is so elevated, and this is what we were really hoping for when the IP was purchased by Eagle Park, that they could take what MKE Brewing Company had a really good foundation and just elevate everything beyond it. And this is a perfect example. If you guys haven't had this one, make sure you get your hands on it. It's really, really good. It's really well done. And I'd love to hear what you think it finishes like, because we're in disagreement apparently. But
port wine, barley wine, they are different. This is great.
Yeah,
this is really good. And I think Eagle Park has come a long way in their barrel aging program. Obviously, that influence is here. It's just a solid beer. Yep. It's really, really good.
If I'm putting this in Untappd, I'm seeing a really strong 4 1/4.
Yeah.
It's not quite the 4.5, but it's a really, really strong 4 1/4.
The more I drink this, the more I start kind of inching it up a little bit more because I'm actually enjoying it even more. But to be fair, I think you were dead on with this 4 1/4 and a strong 4 1/4 inching into that 4.5 category. It's just such a tasty beer and unique at that. So really, really good. Glad that MKE Brewing Company is in your hands, Eagle Park.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I was on a tour there with the beer club in December, and I was told that our favorite beer from MKE Brewing Company is going to make a return in October. So
Cherry Bounce?
Cherry Bounce.
Yay!
So looking forward to that as well. So awesome stuff here. Again, like I said, glad you guys have got them. So thanks for watching. Check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on Untappd. Obviously here on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe. Have you tried these? As Ross said, what are your thoughts? Port wine, oat wine, barley wine. What do you think? Let us know in the comments, and we will see all of you in a future episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.